Am I up? Yeah, good. All right. There we go. Hair's a little flat today, but that's all right. It's been ponytailed a lot for shows. Hi, how you doing? We sound okay. Hopefully, sound is all right. I gotta get my headphones in so I know what's going on and I can hear what's up. Hi, everybody. So gosh and golly and gee whiz, just as I'm starting the show, my green screen, which I have it stuck to the ceiling with these things, you know, the no damage left behind wall hanger things. And hi, and they all, a bunch of them, they just been sitting there for a couple weeks and they just fell because I've been using them here because I don't want to damage the walls and the paint. So I went and got a bunch of these temporary things to hang my green screen, and then of course it just, I didn't really secure them that well, so they fell. So right as I'm walking in, I move it to the side because it's basically, here's show you. It's going to fall again if I do. See, it's a curtain. Look at that. It's like a magic trick. It goes into the kitchen of this place. Oh, there's a little, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. There you go. Okay. So, so over the course of this thing, yeah, it's fun. Got it together. In theory. Anyways, we'll see. Hopefully. I pray that it shall stay as it shall stay. Fingers crossed, and hi and welcome and thank you for joining me. And today's show will be shorter than most, which is maybe upsetting to some of you and exciting to most, but I will keep it high and tight as best I can. Obviously, there's a lot, I guess, that goes into this, but let's start off with a little bit of fun, a wee bit of fun if we can. And by the way, are you working right now? Yes, you are. Good for you. My Stream Deck just yesterday just decided it was going to take a day off. And there's no reason why. I opened the software, I restarted it, I did everything, and it was just like, yeah, I'm not working. And then today it's just magically like, oh, sorry, yesterday I had a thing, so I'm back now. That said, let me get my Restream chat to start up in theory. There we go. Now I can see what you guys are saying. And then I don't know what's going on with this guy's head. No one knows. Does anyone know? I don't know that I can tell you. But let's start off with the fact that I've been mentioning over the last little bit that the language of wokeness has traveled across the Twitterverse and into the right-wing vlogosphere that is OAN and Newsmax and Fox and all that kind of stuff. In the same way that the tales of marijuana eventually reached the dinner table of America, and you had parents talking to their kids about smoking the Mary Jane cigarettes, right? Okay, so whenever you hear these folks bring up woke or say woke or whatever, you can tell that that phrase has officially jumped the shark, isn't in the normal lexicon anymore, and now can be transmuted into a slander, basically, is the idea at this point. And it's not very effective. It's kind of adorable, but this is how Johnny, your mother and I are concerned with you hanging out on the interwebs too much. You know, it has reached that level to where the hosts on Newsmax allegedly, and I have not watched this because I do not watch things ahead of time, because who needs that kind of hell in their life? Newsmax hosts test their wokeness. Oh, do they now? So let me see.
As his host and producer.
This guy, Fernando Uribe, sorry, from Real Talk, which I'm gonna guess is right-wing spin, because that's usually whenever somebody puts real and talk together, and there's usually a TM close behind.
Producer of the Real Talk with Fernando Uribe.
Wait, why did the audio? Yeah, the audio only left me. Hold on. All right, you bastards. Okay, my headphones are working, and we'll open up Loopback and see what its problem is. Sometimes, oh, you got to turn this on and back off and this kind of thing.
Professor at Bergen Community College. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate being here. Now, Fernando.
Which means he's on the team, and he wouldn't be invited on if he didn't 100% support their premise to start with. You know, for fairing and balancing. How woke are you? I've always wanted to know. Oh, please, please.
Fernando, I think you actually have some questions for us, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. This is like one of those stunts we do on like if we were a real morning show. Oh my gosh.
You know what? It is National Teachers Day, and I want to, I work in academia, and I'm surrounded by liberals. I want to find out how woke both of you are, especially with a really, really short quiz. So let's kind of get to it very quickly, and
Oh my God, it's gonna be so embarrassing.
let's see how woke both of you are. So number one,
They are genuinely nervous. Like she's like, this is gonna be cute and fun or whatever, and he is shitting bricks. You shouldn't use that word. Sorry, shitting rocks.
do you feel about manspreading? A, it's a real problem. B, people should give each other space. Or C, it's complete nonsense. What do you say, Heather and Bob?
By the way, I'm gonna go with 2. I don't know how woke I am on this. I mean, unless you want to call like a woman with her kid and her shopping bags mom spreading. I'm gonna go with 2.
It's complete. It's more than complete nonsense.
Okay, so he was definitely invited on with a thing.
It's incomplete nonsense. It makes no.
Incomplete nonsense. I'm sorry, rando Newsmax host editor guy. So when you spread your legs, there's nothing. It's incomplete somehow.
Well, so far, okay. So number 2, should
What? Oh, okay, are we accumulating these? Am I supposed to be writing this shit down? Does somebody remember what I said on the first question? Number 2.
transgender people be allowed to
Should transgender people be allowed to use the bathrooms of their choosing? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. Okay.
use the bathroom of their choosing? A, I don't feel comfortable with that. B, make all bathrooms gender neutral. Or C, of course.
I'm gonna go with 3. Even though he said C, it says 3. It's adorable. I'm gonna go with of course. Although here's the issue that I have. I'll tell you what. No. You know why? Because transgender people aren't using the bathroom, quote, of their choosing. They're using the bathroom that's appropriate for their identity. If a trans woman decides to go in the men's room while presenting fully as a woman, because in the moment she's choosing to use the men's room and biological men can't choose to use the ladies' room for the, where there's no gender neutral, but then no, rules apply to how you are presenting to the world and to your level of commitment to your visual presentation, I guess to some degree, of your gender identity. The real question is, which bathroom should non-binary people use? Or should they just pee in the hall? I'm obviously, this is my audition for Newsmax.
I'll say number 1.
I don't want to know that much about you. I just want to go in and use the men's room.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're choosing to use the men's room. Okay, and I'm assuming she's choosing to use the ladies' room? Or if there isn't one, what do you choose to do? Do you choose to shit your pants? What happens?
Okay. Number 3,
Okay, we'll see. That wasn't the right answer, but okay.
should women be allowed combat roles in the military? A, yes, women are equal to men. B, but held the same standards as men. Or C, no, women are weaker.
They're not helping him at all. Like nobody in the graphics department is recognizing that he's saying A, B, and C, and they're doing 1, 2, 3. Like nobody cares. So we're just going to trans-alphabetize and trans-numerical everything. Is that what it is? It's gross. I'm woke on numbers and letters, and I'm very offended by this. Yes, but held to the same standards as men.
I say number 2.
I'm doing 2 again. I'm going to end up a centrist, or I'm going to end up an establishment Democrat, aren't I?
2.
Yeah, I'd go with 2.
As long as you're held to the same standards.
Yeah, same standards, but you.
Yeah, they do both of these two do push-ups to see who gets to start their lead off on the news every morning, and she always wins. So they're very woke.
If you can do the job, do the job.
Well, I have a surprise about the quiz here in a moment. Number 4, should a baker be forced to make a wedding cake for a gay couple even though that they don't agree with gay marriage? A, yes. B, maybe. Or C, no.
If they sell their cakes to the public and they're not an orthodox religious cake making company, I guess I fall into the maybe, right? Oh my God, cakes! I'm glad we're handling the really heavy hitting issues.
Let's see.
Oh, it's easy. No.
Right.
I mean, they can find somebody else to make it. I mean, no.
Can they?
And I know that disagrees with
Can the other people find a different? Can they choose which taxes they pay that keep the street lights on and the stoplights working and the speed limits enforced and the roads repaired? Can they take away their taxes from the road that leads to that person's business? Or do we all as taxpayers have to hold that person up to an equal position with other people while they compete unfairly in the marketplace? That would be the question.
law right now. There are people paying fines, for it, but no.
Yeah, for discrimination. Equal protection. I know it's upsetting.
They shouldn't be forced.
Yeah.
It's a private enterprise, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that is supported by the public commons that everybody pays into. You can't have a private blacks-only school. Although I'm sure that Newsmax would support that idea for just the legal wiggle room it gives them.
That's what I was going to say, for sure.
Okay. All right. Last but not least, do you think young children should be given the choice to become transgendered and receive hormone treatments? A, yes, it's their body, their choice. B, wait until they're adults. Or C, no.
No.
I would wait until they're an adult because an adult can do anything. I mean, you can't get piercings or tattoos when you're a kid. You can't modify your body before then. I mean, it should be given choice to become transgender and receive hormone treatments. Depends on which ones those are. Are we talking about puberty blockers? Or are we talking about testosterone and estrogen? I'm kidding. These are all just big. All right.
Yeah, I'd go wait until you're an adult, make whatever decision you want. But that's ludicrous for kids. They're still developing psychologically and
Yeah, these two are still developing psychologically. I wouldn't trust them to make that decision.
mentally.
Heather, Bob, I have to tell you, you know what? This is probably one quiz you're going to be ecstatic about failing because you are the least woke people probably walking. So you got an F on this.
Bullshit. He didn't add shit up at all. They answered mitigatory on 2 of the 5 questions. They're not the most anti-woke people. I think the fix was in.
Everybody out there that thinks that they're woke.
Choice to become transgender is problematic phrasing. Sean, they're bigots. Stop treating... Look, guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you that when you come across inserious people discussing a serious topic, interjecting actual seriousness into it does not help the serious topic. It brings it down to their level. They are only and should be only used for absolute mockery of the people involved. If these folks are too stupid and have too thin a brain pan to even deal with the issues that are laid out in front of them, then why should you take seriously any of their answers or their premises, which is, I guess, the primary issue we have with this nonsense.
Thank you very much.
Guys, both of you are pretty on the money on your answers. And again, I'm pretty sure you're happy about failing this quiz altogether.
What about the answer about the females in the
Right. Yeah.
military? I thought that was kind of a woke answer.
No, it was kind of mitigatory. But he wasn't paying attention, asshole. This is a setup.
Saying yes, they should be allowed,
Right.
but they should be held to the same
Partial
standard.
credit.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm supposed to check. Am I even supposed to listen to the woman when she asks the question? How does this work? You're really, I mean, if this dude has a choice to make right now, okay? He can either ignore her question outright because it was asked by a woman, or he can act like it's serious and accidentally become woke. It's really frightening. this entire guy's emotional identity is on the line.
Right?
Yeah, Sean, don't. Please, I understand. It's a social media thing to think that input on something, even when when you're rightfully outraged at something, that outrage, when it's couched in its reality, will actually benefit the conversation when it comes to assholes like this. It won't. The best thing you can do is mock and ignore, honest to God. Because these idiots think this actually makes a point. They think this is a cute stunt somebody dreamed up in the newsroom beforehand, like any other, morning local television show, wherever they borrowed this set from. They think this is adorable and interesting and makes a point. And this dude's on a fucking mission. But they're all clowns. Do not make the mistake of attributing any of your reality to the conversation between these three idiots. Am I accusing them of peddling bullshit? Not necessarily, because bullshit has a function as a fertilizer and is therefore sometimes useful. And if you don't believe me, ask Biff Tannen.
No,
That
believe it or
wasn't
not,
woke?
most of the polling will always tell you it's the first answer.
Really?
So,
Why is that woke then? What makes it woke? If it's the mitigatory answer. If most people answer it that way, then it ain't woke, dumbass. It's the middle of the road answer. Why is this what even makes this a woke quiz?
and it's either you're woke or you're a joke, and I think that's unfortunately what a lot of teachers, Heather and Bob, are facing now in higher education. But it's also trickling down to the high school, the middle.
Yeah, show that again and have him say A, B, and C again. Professor gives woke report card. Jesus Christ. Somebody had to type this up.
School and even the elementary school level, and that's really disturbing for parents out there that see that.
What's disturbing? That when the ROTC comes to campus, both males and females and transgender people can apply or join the ROTC and then go into the military if they can qualify and pass all the physical tests or are useful in a support structure and want to get one of the degrees related to it, because they're going to defend a country that is religiously, racially, sexually pluralistic, and where the experiment in democracy where everybody comes and nobody's got America on their 23andMe. Or, I'm sorry, is this... the army is really to defend some sort of weirdly racially homogenous idea that would have offended all of the soldiers that fought in World War II, by the way.
That their kids are being indoctrinated as young as, even first grade. That should really raise a red flag.
They're being indoctrinated? In what? Which part? No matter who you are, when you grow up and you get married, there's going to be cake. Oh, cake! Oh my God, cake! They're indoctrinating our children. No, some of you won't get cake. Some of you are going to grow up and somewhere around high school or college start experimenting with a girlfriend, and you won't invite me, and I'll be very upset. And then you'll want to get married, and you'll send out announcements, and I won't get one. And then you're going to go and try and buy a cake, and I'm going to call my friend, and he's going to go, no cake for you.
Flag, Heather and Bob, about how disturbing education is becoming in this country. Here in New Jersey, case in point, we keep getting ranked every year with the best schools in the country, supposedly, but you'd be surprised. I have a lot of colleagues that are a lot more woke, and they're not afraid to show that. I don't do that in the classroom. I don't think that's the proper place and scenario for it. But
what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody gets ranked by wokeness, and New Jersey schools are not amongst the top woke schools in the country. What? What is that? I mean, sure, the teachers are doing their job. Kids are coming out capable, able to read, do math, know history, and all this kind of stuff. But where are they on the big questions? Like cake.
I'm the minority in my field.
Well, Fernando, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for coming out as a minority in front of these two. They're minorities too. They're with you. We're looking at 3 clear minorities. If any of you were pulled over, I would keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Much for giving us the woke quiz, and thank you to all the teachers out there on National Teacher
happy
Day.
Teachers Day.
23andMe shows Indigenous Americans. No, it shows tribal Native Americans. It doesn't show Indigenous Americans. Because it technically you're not, because especially if you're on tribal lands, you're sovereign. Never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, is Yoda a Republican? What the hell? What are these people doing? I don't have time for this shit. Okay, so I have to show you this. So Trump launched his big website. Remember how I was saying he was like, I'm being censored. I've been censored by everyone. I can't. This is big tech is censoring me. And I was like, asshole, you were president. You had a press secretary that could say anything you wanted her to say and the news would print it. You got kicked off of Twitter because it's got terms of service and it's a private organization. And after you were no longer president, you're a private citizen, so you have to deal with the same rules like the rest of us. Oh, horror. And I was saying, like, dude, get a website. You can write whatever the fuck you want on it. There he goes. He's released the website, DonaldJTrump.com, is turned into From the Desk of Donald J. Trump. Shouldn't it be from the putting green or from the buffet? He's spoon feeding this shit to his followers anyway, so it'd just be like a gravy boat that he just. And every time he puts out one of these messages, the graphic comes out and goes. And then it just plops into the box. So, look at this. Hey, you. Boink, boink. You. Hand job. Okay. Save America, President Donald J. Trump. I don't know. This is the Save America PAC thing. This is what you're supposed to shop and contribute. This is all they care about. There it is. Look at this. Shop and contribute. What's this really about? What's the lead in, kids? Because I'll tell you, you guys know I've been trying to get people to like join Patreon and be patrons, and I've been trying to get it so that I get more super chats, wink, wink, and all that kind of stuff to help out and help, and like and share the show and try to grow all that, which is what part and parcel to what this enterprise is when you do it online. If this is it, right? No reason why I should be ashamed to monetize it any more than anybody else does, and certainly not less than the right wing does, who have literally become multi-millionaires just doing shit with less production value than I'm giving you with my tacked up green screen. But that's because content has always been the most important thing to me, and so I kind of forget that part. I don't lead with it. You lead with what's important to you. Save America, President Donald J. Trump. He's not president anymore. Former President Donald J. Trump. From the Desk of Donald J. Trump. So it's an ego thing. And shop and contribute. Let's see what happens when we hit shop, shall we? Let's see what they got. Secure WinRed. By the way, anybody who bitches about Act Blue, oh my God, Act Blue. Like, that's where your donations for Black Lives Matter go through. They go through Act Blue, which helps Democratic candidates and things like that. Yeah, WinRed's the same thing. It's a Republican version of the same thing, and they're run by nonpartisan firms who just know that if Act Blue might have the best structure in the world, but no Republicans are going to use it, so they just rebrand and name it. Hi. Good night. By the way, this was a mistake. I don't know how somebody doesn't cut this out. Like, are you trying to make it easier? Save America. These are all like from the Lynn Wood collection. Make America Great Again. Navy tea. $30. Look, a signature mug. And that's great. These are Trump straws. Are they plastic at least? Are they really Trump straws if they don't choke a sea turtle? Don't blame me. I voted for Trump. Okay. Another yard sign. Sure. T-shirt. I see a trend here. Trump Save America. Okay. So like God Save America or God Save the Queen. You're just replacing Trump for God. Okay, sounds Christian. Guy didn't drink again, so right out of the gate, that's classy. This one looks nice. This is very Trump freedom hat. What do you mean, freedom to be a gaudy asshole with no respect for the flag? Don't blame this family we voted for Trump. And you love Trump that much, and you're going to have the first thing people do when they come to your house is stand on Donald Trump's name? They're wiping their feet on Trump? Do you even MAGA, bro? Trump, this is from the thing on, it's not Teespring, it's one of the other T's things where they have an automatic model. Trump, make America great again. T, don't blame me who voted for Trump thing. This is a Trump thumbs up poster, digitally signed, $30. Beer cozies, because for all the people don't blame me, I voted for Trump. That's a big one. Don't blame me, I voted for Trump. Trump save America, Trump save America, Trump save America. Jesus. It's original. Oh, look, from the Ted Nugent collection. Nice orange text, though, so that no one mistakes your forehead for a deer and shoots you. Trump save America, Trump make America great again. Don't blame me, I voted for Trump. Don't blame me, I voted for Trump. Save America. Like, they basically got three things. And Trump playing cards. Great. Everybody starts with 5 aces. Okay. What else? Yeah, more of this shit just on again. I'm seeing some, what this is, I'm seeing a lot of repetition here. Yeah. What's this? Oh, a tote bag. Awesome. If I subscribe using the yearly plan, do I get a free tote bag? What are you toting in that? Ammo? Pipe bombs? What do you tote in this? Evidence from the Capitol? I toted Pelosi's laptop in one of these. Because I didn't care if it got broken. It's not padded. Don't put your laptop in that kind of thing. Anyways. So, let me show you this. Hold on. Go back to, where is he? Go back. I don't want to, it's here. Sorry. So from the desk of Donald Trump. So this is where he's just putting his statements. But check this out. This is the launch video. This is his, if he could have a YouTube channel that was functional at all. This is the, why you should like and subscribe video.
Consign him and those who supported him in the Senate to the trash heap of history.
Consign those him and those who support him to the trash heap of history. Okay, don't threaten me with a good time.
Twitter permanently banning the commander-in-chief's personal account.
And lies.
With 88 million followers.
Wait a minute. 88 million followers? I don't think so. Half of those are bots at least, and the other half are reporters who had to write on everything he said. Why does it look like they are nuking Mar-a-Lago? A beacon of freedom arises. A web page. A place to speak freely and safely. Straight from the desk of Donald J. Trump. Wait, is this his social media thing? Paid for by Save America and not authorized by any candidates committee, so he can keep all the money and he doesn't have to spend it on anyone. How do we... There's a bunch of shitting on Liz Cheney. Now, what happens if you click on these? Sign up for alerts. So where do I speak freely? There's notifications. There's if I want to give money. What's this picture? Is this the picture of him at his desk? Back to feed. Is that it? Load more posts. Ooh. Liz Cheney is polling so low in Wyoming and has so little support. Even from Wyoming Republican Party, she's looking way over. Who gives a shit, man? And you know what's beautiful about this site? I will say, there's something aesthetically very pleasing about this site, and I got to give credit where credit is due, is that We've heard like 3 of these posts. If you've watched like Twitter and the like, sometimes someone will go, the president made a statement about blah, blah, blah. And there's been like 3 times that I've noticed, maybe 4, that we've seen these statements. And apparently he's done a shit ton of them. And we haven't seen any of them. There's been just the 3. Look at these long, look at this rambling horse shit. Voter fraud in Georgia was rampant. Michael Goodwin, New York Post. Reader Matt Conley calls voter fraud identity theft and tells a story. He writes, my youngest sibling lives in Missouri and found a vote was cast under his name in Georgia. He asked the Georgia Secretary of State if the vote was removed and not included in the presidential recount. He was told no. After the Senate round, my butter wanted to know if the vote was cast in his name again. How's there not somebody else's name? What are you talking about? I don't know. So fucking weird. Stephen Miller. And by the way, if it was cast for Georgia, was it cast for Trump? I don't think so. Quality of life plummets. Taxes rocket. New York City faces doom. Goodwin. What? So, like, look at this blathering shit. Happy Easter, except to the radical left crazies. That's like one of the ones we saw, like the little ones. Look at this ragged bullshit he's just yelling about. This, I mean, on. And he's been, I mean, that's it. So he started this March 24th. So since then, he's been prattling on, and no one gives a shit. It's like he's in his own information cul-de-sac, screaming at the clouds, and I could not be happier first. You have to contact the site first? No doubt. So, but OAN is doing their best to promote it for him, free of charge, I'm sure.
The President Trump, that is, launches
the former president?
The new website to deliver the latest updates from his office to the...
No, there's no updates. He's just railing against reality. I don't see any... Did you see a calendar entry anywhere on that shit?
American people. The new communications platform launched on...
Communications platform. Repeal 230. Repeal 230.
On Tuesday.
It's a platform. He said it's a platform. Repeal 230.
And it's designed is reminiscent of the president's Twitter account, which was...
Why? What part of it? No one can reply. No one can quote tweet, subtweet. Nobody can, like, you can't ratio any of it. It's a fucking web page.
Banned by multiple big tech companies earlier this year. The website is called from the...
A place to speak freely and safely. What? For him? What do you mean?
Desk of Donald J. Trump. The president is posting statements and opinions on the state of U.S. affairs to advance his...
And?
The Save America program.
Yeah, it's a microblog, Cartman. Trump's a former president and current microblogger, Donald Trump, who, by the way, is asking you to join his Patreon, which is effectively his super PAC. Fucking hell. Trump is that's it. And that's for now, that's the record. Everybody, everyone should refer to Donald Trump as former president and current microblogger Donald Trump, because that's what he is.
President Trump says the website will develop...
I don't know why he didn't join Frank. Maybe he has. Can anybody join Frank? I tried. I keep getting rejected. I think they know it's me.
As the beacon of free speech, although it does not appear to work as a...
What?
Social media platform.
Yeah, because it ain't, dummy.
As of right now.
As of right now. As of ever. He's microblogging.
Consign him and those who supported him in the Senate to
in a time of silence. Why isn't Kevin Sorbo doing a voiceover on this? You know what I mean? In a time of silence.
the trash of history.
Twitter permanently banning the commander-in-chief's
And
personal
lies.
account with 88 million followers.
A beacon of freedom arises. Wasn't a good read. Oh, Donald Trump is speaking freely. broadcast straight from the desk of Donald J. Trump. Save America, pay for it with a donation today. So we can get more free music to use.
See more videos like this?
No, no one does.
Visit OANN.com for immediate.
Why? What, you're doing an ad on an ad video you did? Christ almighty. Too piercing? I'm sorry, was that loud? Apologize. All right, hold on one second. There was, Jesus. Can we, I have not gotten a chance to, and I feel bad for not doing this, really listen to,
Immediate access to.
whoops, shut up. To Andrew Giuliani's argument about why his dad was wronged. Right? He was righted and wronged. He's on OAN. You know, we'll keep it the theme. I don't know what the hell. Why is their page all like they can't get their OAN? Why can't you get your format size uniform? What is wrong? Why is it? What's this bullshit on either side of these videos? It upsets me as a Libra. It's aesthetically bullshit. But we've already heard that Alan Dershowitz, Mr. You can leave your tidy whities on, has already said that lawyers can't be, you can't do a warrant to search a lawyer's office ever because attorney-client privilege. So congratulations, mob. Alan Dershowitz is your boy. So
we all heard the news about
yo, he's so dead.
last week's raid, and now we see major media outlets retracting lies they spread about your father and about
the one that he was warned. By the way, when you keep hearing this, they're retracting all these lies. They're retracting lies about Giuliani. The one they're talking about is that allegedly someone told either the New York Times or the Washington Post, I don't know who posted it first, that the FBI warned Giuliani early on. A source within there said that he and Ron Johnson were both told they were the target of Russian disinfo. They were. The dispute is whether or not they were told or whether they gave a shit or whether they would give a shit. Because do any of us think that the FBI went to them and went, by the way, you're the target of Russian disinfo? They go, who do you work for? The Clintons?
about our network over the weekend. So what's the latest on your situation currently?
Your situation or your dad's situation?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think the
Did you ever get your iPad back?
latest is we've seen these 3 retractions here from the New York Times, the Washington.
Yeah, all about the same story? Did they retract the part about, did your dad retract the part about him saying that they kicked in his door? Oh, yeah, he had to do that live.
Post and NBC News. And the fact that they would slander not just my father, not just the former president of the United States lawyer, but also a fellow media outlet the way that they would is just absolutely absurd. And it shows you the relationship that the Justice Department now has to the leftist media. I mean, really, you mentioned projection before. You're absolutely right. They do project what they actually do onto.
So the New York Times were targeted with Russian propaganda and disinfo, and the FBI told them that they were, and they ignored it? What are you talking about? Thank you, Francie, for the super chat.
You know, onto conservatives, onto.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you're on the twitch.tv Houseparks, okay?
Anybody associated with Donald Trump. But what also happens is you have the media.
Anybody associated with Donald Trump? I don't think so. Nobody's cuffing up Ben Carson.
Reporting sources from the Justice Department, and the Justice Department is politically motivated. So basically, the media is using the credibility of the Justice.
You mean they were politically motivated when they were protecting your dad? They weren't then, but they are now?
Justice Department, to the people who are listening, and the Justice Department is using the credibility of CNN and MSNBC and
something they have, you don't? I see.
And the New York Times, which, believe it or not, still has some credibility for some people.
Yeah, for most people. Yeah, vast majority of people. We're on planet Earth. Hello, moon base asshole.
people in America. And because of that, what you end up happening is this snowball of corruption that both the media and the Justice Department are currently in the midst of. And unfortunately, we Americans are left having to pick up the pieces and looking more like a banana republic than we are actually a free society with a free press.
Okay, nothing was said there. I mean, it's gibberish. Oh, thank you. Yay. Patreon. Thank you so much. You can now be a patron annually. Just saying. You don't have to do it monthly. You can do it for the whole year. Blink, blink. All right.
And this is exactly the same way as you were describing about the relationship with these leaks from the intel community to the media to politicians and how they all...
Well, you can't leak a lie. Remember what we said. You can't leak a lie. So if something was incorrect, it wasn't leaked by anyone. And so you can't blame the intel community or the FBI or anybody like that for saying something that wasn't true if it turns out that they didn't actually say that, or the person that did say it didn't have the connections they said they did, because that's not the fault of the FBI or the intel community or the Department of Justice if a reporter lied about what they had heard or not heard what they thought they heard. That's not everybody else's fault.
Echo each other, so it seems like they're all coming to these conclusions independently, but they're not. They're all using the same
conservatives in the crosshairs,
unverified anonymous hearsay to attack their political opponents. It's exactly what we saw.
Unverified anonymous hearsay? You mean like the existence of the Hunter Biden laptop, which I still call bullshit on? Andrew, hold it up. You still got it. They didn't take it from your dad, right? What's it look like? Hold it up. Show it to America. Don't print out 6 pieces of paper from a copy of a hard drive that you have that's not even in a case, or that is for some odd reason. Who took it out? When they removed the hard drive, who did it, Andrew? You, the guy at the repair shop? Who removed it from the laptop and put it in an external casing so that it could be accessed and protected? What kind of cabling system do you have set up there? Is it USB-C? What happened there? Oh, thank you guys. Level 2 hype train.
The same playbook from 2016, how they went after President Trump. And now, of course, it's Biden back in office. He was the wingman to Obama when all this Spygate, Russiagate nonsense was going back.
There was no Spygate.
Was going on. And
Russiagate wasn't a gate at all. It was an actual Russiagate in terms of like Watergate in terms of Trump. Yeah, like that was his Russiagate, not the fact that, well, I mean, let Jimmy Dore tell you how Russiagate, the word, actually means the evil Democrats going after poor Donald Trump.
Of course, all those old cronies are once again back at the DOJ, the state.
And they're not being stopped from continuing their investigations like they were when his dad's boss was running the place. Why are we listening to this asshole again?
Department, all these other departments.
Hey, thank you, Ninka Crinkles. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much. Hype train.
And interestingly enough, the feds raid your father's apartment, but what they don't take is Hunter Biden's laptops.
What laptop? What laptop? Have you seen it? I mean, Andrew loves this story. He thinks it works. What laptop? What multiple hard drives are you talking about? Why is your dad copying child porn and keeping multiple copies of it? Why is your father interfering with the chain of evidence in such a way that if the evidence was ever sought to be used in a criminal complaint, it could not?
You have to talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
No, it isn't. They had a warrant for communication devices and electronics. That's why they didn't take the fucking Keurig.
I'm in at 6 o'clock in the morning after, over the past 18 months, my father had offered 3 different times
to come in and say, I'll bring all the electronic shit I have, sure. I'll bring all my burner phones that I use the ones I keep in a drawer from when I go to Ukraine. Yeah, I brought them all. Don't go in my house. Trust me.
To basically answer questions that were unrelated to his representing the president of the United States, right? Obviously, it's privileged information. But
no, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, your father is not protected by privilege around anything to do with his travel anytime in Ukraine, his speaking to any Ukrainian officials, his relaying of conversations that he had with Ukrainian officials to Donald Trump, or anything that Donald Trump told him to tell Ukrainian officials. It is part of the Official Records Act because according to your fucking moron father, he was acting on behalf of the State Department. I mean, I showed this crap yesterday. And I put this out there, and I don't know why people aren't, like, recognizing this. You done, son. You done. The minute he said this and offered this as an explanation, and if at any time last year or the year before he said this to a government official in the State Department or an FBI agent that came and asked him questions about it, if he repeated that lie, all of his attorney-client privilege bullshit goes out the window. Because in terms of Ukraine, he was acting on behalf of the State Department. I don't know how the hell people miss this. How? He's your dad. Keep track of the bullshit that he is saying. How about level 5 hype train? Thanks very much, guys. Bits and cheers and all that kind of stuff. And thank you on Facebook for the stars as well. Hi, everybody. Okay, here we go. Hiding this again. Sorry, as soon as that asshole told the public that he worked for the State Department, he has no protection. And by the way, remember how Trump was like, if I want to declassify something, I can declassify anything I want? Same thing is true of Biden. So if Biden shares any information that he was involved with the DOJ or the FBI or anything like that, or even the public, that's his prerogative of president, as president, according to Donald Trump. And Rudy Giuliani is such an egomaniac and an idiot that he thinks he's going to walk away from this.
But they come in at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sorry, what time do you normally get up?
They take 2 phones, they take an iPad, and they're about to take a hard drive. And my father mentioned...
They're about... excuse me? They're about to... Listen, guys, this is the narrative changing. This isn't what Rudy Giuliani said. Watch Andrew Giuliani change the story to make it worse to benefit his father. And to, by the way, by exaggerating this story further, slander the FBI. This asshole lied about how the FBI treated him and what he said to them. And his son is about to make it worse, meaning that when the FBI said, no, we're not interested in those hard drives, whatever the hell they are, because we don't have a warrant for those things. We only have a warrant for communication devices, because this has to do with verifying what's on your cloud and seeing if you have burner phones and another iPad and a separate laptop for these communications, because you're so stupid you put dual accounts on some stuff, and we found out that you have other devices because we can look at the device code on each of them, like Mike Lindell thinks he's doing in China using fucking whatever. Anyways,
mentions that it's Hunter Biden, and they said, no, that's okay. We don't want it. Like it had the China virus or something.
Yeah, it's hilarious. By the way, it doesn't exist. Those weren't Hunter Biden's hard drives. They're fakes. They have nothing to do with anything. He's lying. His dad's lying. The FBI agents never said that. Prove me wrong. They are slandering FBI agents. These 7 FBI agents, according to these 2 assholes, are engaged in criminality and are acting as political mercenaries for the current administration when they did nothing of the sort. Think about this. This is the Republican Party. These are Republican stalwarts. Glory hole.
Like that. No. So
yeah, he's quoting his dad.
Look, anybody who's watching OAN, if the FBI ever raids your home, just say that everything is Hunter Biden's. I would say if a
Yeah, everybody smokes crack and takes a nap. Yeah. Rudy can spot a deep fake.
burglar comes in, try it with the burglar.
Oh my God, he's sitting in bed smoking a cigarette. You take that cigarette out, you might think it's one of Don Jr.'s videos. Guys, I'm sitting here trying to find an angle that makes my chin look smaller.
Maybe they won't steal something if you say it's Hunter Biden's. They'll just...
Whoa! Maybe they won't steal something. So the FBI are thieves now.
say no thank you. I mean, again, doesn't it just show how politically motivated this is? If that does...
I'm sorry. I can't really see that picture very well, but apparently he's wearing a jean jacket and no shirt. So I don't know when Hunter Biden toured with Loverboy, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But in that drawer, are there 4 packs of green Sudafed from Europe that if you crush and snort, it gives you a meth-like effect? Oh, sorry, that was Trump's taco bowl picture.
Doesn't tell you this is politically motivated.
Smoking in the tub. Obviously trying to avoid a fire hazard. Covering his nipples because he's a lady.
Then I'm sorry, your eyes aren't open.
And what do you make of the accusations in the first place? Because as your father said, he's made it very clear in his work and in his contracts that he doesn't do work for foreign agents, for foreign...
Yeah, he's lying. Yeah, that's why when you lie about that shit, that's when the FBI shows up at your door.
Foreign countries or anything of that sort.
Oh, Hunter looks like he...
Yeah, he was defending the president of the United States. And you, on your network, you certainly understand that as well as anybody.
Why? How is he defending the United... He's defending himself.
I mean, you know, you had, as you mentioned in your monologue, Chanel went over there with my father to kind of lay things out 18...
Ew. She did what?
...months ago. I mean, the truth...
And what did they do? They came back with an alleged hard drive that cost him $5 million that was on sale last year or the year before for, now it's 2018, for $3 million.
My father came across information as he was defending the president of the United States. I would say exculpatory information. I think leftists in the media would certainly try to hide that, but it was...
Hide what?
Exculpatory information.
No, it wasn't. It was Russian disinfo. He was working with Dmitry Firtash.
And it came across him as the president's lawyer. I don't know what...
No, sorry. He might have at one point used that as a defense, but that shit is over. Sorry, that your defense is in the turlet. Sorry. It doesn't fly. It's not going to fly. It's over. This kid is despicable.
What is a lawyer supposed to do with exculpatory information? Are they supposed to say we're just not going to look into that?
You present it in a trial if necessary. You bring it, you present it, and by the way, he brought all that shit back. They didn't present it in the impeachment hearing. Why not? Why didn't they? They told it to the press, and they tried to make a little movie on OAN, but they didn't take it to Congress. Why not? 'Cause it's a fucking lie. And if you lie to the press, you can get away with it. Rudy does it all the time. Andrew Giuliani does it all the time. But if you do it in front of Congress, you're in deep shit. If you lie on a form like that, if you take this kind of information and you lie about it, then you end up with but 7 guys at your door.
No, of course you have to. That's how you represent your client, especially the president of the United States.
His client was not the president of the United States. His client was Rudy Giuliani. He was working for himself. He was aligning himself with Trump for the power that it gave him, and then he was over in Ukraine making energy deals on his own.
You recently wrote an op-ed as well. I saw it at the Washington Examiner, likening a lot of this to what we saw under Stalin and the Soviets and how they did these sham show trials. Is that similar?
Jesus. Law and order.
Similar to what we're seeing now?
I mean, it was certainly on the path to it. It feels...
No, we're not. Not at all.
I mean, this feels like what happens in a banana republic, you know?
I don't know why the fuck they think that's... I mean, other than the obvious racial overtones of it, why they think they're selling that.
It doesn't feel like this is what happens in America. If you go after the former president's attorney when there's privileged information, as you mentioned...
There is none. There is no privileged information. None. None of what Rudy Giuliani did in Ukraine for the President of the United States qualifies as privileged legal information. None. It's all he must be responsive to the National Records Act or whatever it's called. He has to present all of his communications as if he's a subcontractor or on a mission for the State Department. They have, even if it was ultimately classified, he still has no right to hide it. The whole crowd of people hanging out the next night.
Mentioned before, and as my father revealed, is they actually hacked into his iCloud in 2019 while he...
They didn't hack into his iCloud. They got a warrant for his iCloud.
He was representing the President of the United States.
No, he wasn't. According to his own interview, and he said his phone, he held up his phone. The proof is right here. Can I see that phone? No, it's a violation of my rights. But you said the proof is right there.
I mean, this certainly feels like a tactic that Stalin would use.
Dude, a bag and a bullet is a tactic that Stalin would use. Your dad's getting due process, you fucking weakling.
I think America is redeemable. I think we can get back.
Based on what? The FBI apparently are shock troops for the wokosphere.
To where we have an independent Justice Department. I think this goes back to Barack Obama and Eric Holder. And as you mentioned, Joe Biden was certainly vice president, knew what was going on then. I don't know if he knows what's going on now, but his team certainly knows what's going on now.
That's a joke about him being old and not knowing what's happening because he's got a stutter. And so just in case you're not keeping up on the ageism jokes.
It needs to stop. The Justice Department needs to be independent again. And
They are. That's why he didn't know about the raid. He just said, you guys follow the leads where they go. If you don't find anything at the end of the trail, that's on you. I'm not going to pressure.
And I know my father certainly feels that way as somebody
Of course he does now.
Who was the youngest associate attorney general ever, the greatest U.S. attorney in the history, not just of the Southern
At least, the Russian and Chinese mob certainly think so.
District of New York, but in our country, I know he longs for the days that the Justice Department was independent of politics.
By the way, I don't know, no word on whether or not Will Ferrell will be playing Andrew Giuliani in upcoming sketches. I mean, how does that not happen? So, all right, how much time do I have? All right, I'm doing okay on time today. So, the thing that I want to remind everyone about as we look through, and there will be more of this stuff, in terms of Rudy and let's see, I'm looking for something as far as Rudy, like, I don't want to go with what they're saying. There's a couple of things. Man, the amount of flip out. Oh God. Josh Hawley, gross. Oh, here, I know this is how many woke videos can I ultimately do? Jesus. And the fact that, where is it? Oh my God, there's just so much to do. There is so much stuff to cover. Christ almighty. Oh, okay. So yeah, here we go. This is the same lie that Rudy's going to be telling. He's on Welcome to America First with Sebastian Gorka.
We're going to take airplanes when we're supposed to for business or pleasure. We're going to go to public events, and we're going to do the things that we normally would do. The best way.
By the way, I don't know what's happening over on this side. The Ernie and Osama bin Laden statues and Star Wars with BB-8 and stuff, and then this resist this bumper sticker and an American flag hung down there. This is Sebastian Gorka's set. I don't know what. And then they put video in. You can't have a side window?
to get your children to stop being afraid is to stop being afraid yourself.
Stop being afraid.
Yourself.
Exactly the message America needed to hear after the worst terrorist attack.
Why are we seeing a reflection of whoever your assistant is in the glass over here at the studio, wherever we are, in some random studio?
In modern history, from the man we now call America's mayor, the one...
No, we once called America's mayor.
107th mayor of New York City, a man I'm honored to call a friend, a great patriot, and he is with us now, opening America First. Mayor Rudy Giuliani, welcome back to America First.
Always an honor to be with you, Sebastian.
So what's on his shelf? Doctor Who, Daleks, Star Wars. Then the second one, he's got Osama bin Laden figurines. Ed 209. Is that flowers? I don't know what the hell that is. And then the Xenomorph. Then Ernie, and then a flag, and then I can't tell if if Bert is like laying over there, but there's some sort of crown back there. Relief Factor, which is something he's selling, I think, for flexibility. It's one of their sponsors. And then Marines and, the thin blue line flag in case a cop comes in and he needs something to, choke him with. He can just peel that off and wad it up and stuff it in the guy's throat.
So kind of you. Let's get straight to the heart of the matter. I've heard you speak about what occurred to you last week. Tell our millions of listeners and viewers.
Well, I don't want to shit on them too much. Hundreds of thousands, maybe tens of thousands, dozens of listeners.
What happened when federal agents came to your premises, and what were they looking for?
Well, I mean, it's hard to even describe. There are so many violations of the law involved.
No, there aren't. They put a grand jury together. They got a warrant. It was signed off by a judge. They came there and claimed your electronic devices. Those electronic devices are not given straight over to a prosecutor. They're given to a committee that looks at stuff and goes, yes, this qualifies as attorney-client privilege. This doesn't, and they bifurcate it out. They're sworn to secrecy. They take an oath to defend the Constitution against unreasonable searches and seizures. And so they don't talk about whatever they found, even if it's gross and disgusting. If it falls under attorney-client privilege, they're gonna say this should be ruled out. And if the prosecution says they would like, they have a reason to believe that his actions working for Donald Trump were not as an attorney, and therefore they want to present a case equally, they get a hearing on that, and then they have to go back, and the judge can look with the group about that, and then the judge can make a ruling.
Involved in this.
Which is like a lot of law happening.
Knocked on my door at 6 a.m. in the morning. I should say.
Okay, they knocked on your door. Okay.
Pounded on my door.
Oh, they pounded. You should say they pounded, even though they knocked. Okay.
They had a search warrant, and when I looked at it, it
was illegal.
Pounded me because it said that I failed to file on one occasion where I allegedly represented a Ukrainian official. Well, I've never represented a Ukrainian official before.
Well, that's your allegation. They obviously believe you have. That's your position. Their position is you have. They found information on your iCloud, apparently, or on some sort of wiretap that they got on you, that they also got through a warrant, that led them to getting a warrant in front of a grand jury from the information they found from that led them to your door that day. So do you think any defendant goes, you know what, they showed up, it's a fair cop.
For the United States government ever, and I've never acted as a FARA agent.
Before the United States government ever. That's an interesting wiggle. Did you guys notice that? He's mentioned that a couple of times.
Well, I've never represented a Ukrainian official before the United States government ever.
I've never represented a Ukrainian official before the United States government ever. This guy, I mean, he's a lawyer. That's some pretty fine hair splitting right there. Right? Why would you go, I've never represented, I've never lobbied on behalf or worked as an agent for a foreign, why that in particular?
And I've never acted as a FARA agent before.
Never acted as a FARA agent? What does that mean? Well, you obviously didn't fill out your documents, so yeah, maybe not.
In fact, I have contracts that specifically make clear that I will not. So
doesn't mean you didn't. Your contracts have basically got a lot of CYA in it.
That was a shocker. It was equal.
Oh, wow. Today is Michael Palin's birthday. One of the purest, funniest human beings ever to have lived. Michael Palin is a lovely human being, and I'm proud to have bought him onion rings once.
A shocker, because we have offered on 4 occasions to come in and show them that, and they, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
No, they just said, no, that's not how it works.
Have their eyes closed to it. Instead, they wanted to execute a useless warrant.
Why was it useless? Apparently they got some shit.
Because I wasn't going to destroy any of this. I've had it for...
Yeah, so we should just take every defendant's, after a grand jury and all this stuff. I mean, why are we getting warrants for anybody for anything ever? Aren't all warrants a violation of everyone's rights then by this standard?
A year and a half. They've leaked the investigation often enough that I know what it's about.
So there is a concern that friendly members of the FBI and the DOJ under Donald Trump were telling you what was going on. And so it was reasonable for them to think that at some point you might destroy things now that your buddy's out of power and you might actually have to face justice.
They've leaked it on 5 occasions. So if I was going to...
What 5? Where are those communications? That's interesting. Show those, Rudy. You have more evidence of communications that you're alleging right now than you have shown stuff from Hunter Biden's laptop.
If I was going to destroy this stuff, I would have destroyed it a long time ago. They came in, they took 8 or 9 pieces of electronics, 2 of which do not belong to me. And I told them that, but they took them anyway. And then there were 3 hard drives.
This is, again, the story of bullshit. Who did the other 2 belong to? And by the way, is this how you talk about those aren't my phones. Those are Lev and Igor's phones. They bought them for me, but I never paid them back. I don't know who those phones are. Dude, they came in, they busted down my door. They found like 6 bags of weed. I was like, those aren't mine. And they didn't even believe me.
And I said, these are Hunter Biden's. And they fall within the warrant, electronic.
No, they don't.
It's in my house. They said, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. I said, well, you're kind of taking my word. These are Hunter Biden's. I mean, they could be Donald Trump's.
No, they're not taking your word. That's why they didn't take them. They didn't have a right to storage devices. They were there to get communications devices. Your smart TV qualifies as an electronic device. They didn't fucking take it, did they?
Vladimir Putin's, but apparently I'm trustworthy enough so that the FBI believed me that they were Hunter Biden's and didn't want the problem. So ironically, they walked out of my house with...
So you still got them. So you've still got 3 copies of child porn on your desk? What?
9 pieces of electronic equipment that all contain innocent information.
Oh, good. Well, then what are you worried about?
And they left the one incriminating document behind.
One incriminating document?
A hard drive.
Now, I read on the air yesterday on America First the DOJ regulations for serving warrants against sensitive individuals like attorneys who have lots of clients, priests who have the confidentiality of the confessional, or doctors who have to protect their relationship and their information with their patients. And it's
fake Brits.
Says there very clearly, because attorneys manage privileged information for hundreds of other people, that they must use the least intrusive method of obtaining that information or that.
Yeah, and the least obtrusive was knocking on your door at 6 o'clock. Hi, we have a search warrant. We need to take your electronic devices. We're not taking all the storage devices because there's a wider range that you might have, like, we're not taking your file cabinets, for example, because it might violate attorney-client privilege. But whatever you're communicating on, obviously, because the actual charge against you is related to communications, both received and sent for the benefit of foreign nationals, we need your communication devices. How fucking dumb.
Evidence, and they should contact the attorney first.
They did, yes. He had several opportunities. But they're not going to tell you, by the way, we need all your electronic devices, bring them in a bag. What?
Contacted by the FBI to hand over your electronics, Mayor Giuliani?
100% not.
100% not. There's a soundbite. Hold on.
use the least intrusive method of obtaining that information or that evidence, and they should contact the attorney first. Were you contacted by the FBI to hand over your electronics, Mayor Giuliani?
100% not. In fact, it's much worse than that, Sebastian. Unbeknownst to me, and we found this out 2 days later, a year and a half ago, more than that actually, they issued a secret covert warrant.
You mean while Donald Trump was listen to me, Donald Trump was president and Bill Barr was running the DOJ for him?
To go take my entire iCloud. And they took all the contents for 18 months out of it. And
well, no, they didn't. It wasn't a warrant going forward. So clearly it was a couple of, however long you've had it, one would think.
I mean, it can't be any clearer. The commencement date for that subpoena is the day I began representing Donald J. Trump.
Oh, really? So you found out, somebody told you that they got somebody in the DOJ under Bill Barr told Rudy Giuliani, bro, they just got a subpoena for your iCloud. You need to go to Trump right now and ask him to give you $1, put you on retainer as his official attorney so that you can keep all this hidden under national security and as attorney-client privilege today. I mean, is there any...
As the president's attorney, because it also says in the regulation...
No, he started being the attorney. So maybe they'll just want everything leading up to that day. Tell you what, bruh. You can have everything after that point covered under attorney-client privilege with the president. And then all your communications before that day are fair game. Cool.
The serving attorney...
It isn't, though, because of, obviously, reasons that I have heretofore stated, that all of that is bullshit, because he said this after that. This is on my birthday, 2019. There you go.
Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General must approve of warrants against attorneys. So you're saying here on radio that Attorney General Barr or his deputy used his authorities to download your iCloud information?
Yes.
At the time I was representing the President of the United States, and at the most active time that I was doing it, May of 2018 to November of 2019. That included the Russian collusion investigation, the obstruction of justice investigation.
And the time you went on the news and said you weren't actually working as an attorney, you were defending a friend, and that you went there on the behalf of everybody you talked to as far as officials, you were acting on behalf of the State Department. Fuck off with this idiocy.
And the Ukrainian investigation.
I'm sorry, the what? The what? The who? What investigation, Rudy Giuliani? I'm just going to keep hammering this.
That was the specific period, and the thing that makes it clear
What's
that
this
they were
resist
after
sign?
Trump information is
the resist sign is about the resistance. Resist this. It's just it's one of Gorka's bumper stickers. It's just
worry about any information of mine before that. So they weren't interested in any other clients?
No, it wasn't clients. It was your security business and who you're interacting with and your energy deals and your finances with those people, which would be, again, the motive for what would later be the criminal aspect of the means and opportunity.
Weren't even particularly interested in me.
Apparently they were, because they got a warrant for your iCloud.
One is the day that I represent. I mean, they could have at least been a little bit more
subtle, right?
A little more unclear in their objective. But they are after. I mean, I don't think any court that's fair won't see that what they were after. They basically wanted an advantage the prosecutor doesn't get. They wanted to know our theory.
Yeah.
Remember,
know your theory. You wouldn't shut up. Who doesn't know your theory? What are you talking about? What do you think the legal theory that they were basing he did nothing wrong. That was it. That was the whole thing. He didn't do anything wrong. That was the entirety of his argument. He didn't even serve in the impeachment. He was useless.
They were investigating, the Southern District was investigating him for those ridiculous Michael Cohen charges, for which they...
Oh, ridiculous? What was ridiculous? Michael Cohen went to jail.
Announced about 5 times they were going to indict him, in which they filed indictments in which they called him, person number 1 and number 2 to make it look like he committed a crime, and then they never filed a single darn charge.
So,
yeah, because of Bill Barr and Rod Rosenstein running interference. Once they were out of office, nobody was running interference anymore.
Investigating. So the prosecutor investigating him wanted to know what his lawyers were thinking.
No. This had nothing to do with wanting to. Everybody knew what Trump's lawyers were thinking. It was the same shit all the time.
We are talking to America's mayor. Follow him right now,
Formerly
Rudy Giuliani on Twitter, host of the Common Sense podcast.
Yeah, former mayor, current podcaster. Niche podcast. Former mayor, current niche podcaster, and former attorney to a microblogger, Rudy Giuliani.
GiulianiCS.com. Matt Giuliani, let me ask a very tactical question. My sources tell me the FBI agents who also raided our friend Victoria Tansing's home, Joe DiGeno's home, were very polite.
They were very polite. Okay.
Yeah, and their offices were very polite and even apologetic. How were the agents that came to your premises?
100%. I thought they were fine gentlemen. They were dressed, unlike what they did to Roger Stone and to Manafort and the others. They didn't come in dressed up as, military troopers.
Oh, that's weird. So now that Biden is president, when the FBI shows up at your door, they're wearing suits and they look normal again. But under Donald Trump, they were showing up at Roger Stone's and Manafort's place in tactical gear. Curious. Why would that be?
They came in detective suits, the usual FBI attire.
Detective suits. My detective suit is at the cleaners, I think. Yes, it was sitting here just a moment ago.
They were exceedingly courteous.
You said, yeah, this asshole. No. We don't want that stuff. Yeah, it sounds courteous to me. And they bashed on his door, and they were smashed.
They went about their job. They searched everything.
Yeah, it's their job.
But they didn't, rip the apartment apart as they often do.
Really? How often? You mean when you send them?
Look, I've been part of that.
Right.
On the other side, they did take everything out, and it was a bit of a burden. And now I'm operating without my iPad, without my iPhone, which is hard because I do work for a living.
Right.
No, he doesn't. Go get another one, millionaire. Nothing's stopping you. Is it? So I have an iPad, and while I was here, it bricked. I don't know what happened to it. It just stopped. It just stopped working. It just black screen, dead. It was plugged in. It was fully charged. It just boom. And I've plugged it in. I've done the hard reboot. I know all the volume up, volume down, hold the power for 30 seconds to make it come back. Nothing. And I'm going to have, when I get back to Vegas, I'm going to have to get it repaired or, take it to the Genius Bar, see if they can, hook it up to one of their machines and wake it up or get it replaced. Rudy's a millionaire. Go get another phone, stupid. You know that, those phones weren't mine. Oh, nice. A Nerd Halen shirt. Sweet, Jill. Yeah. Those 2 other phones, those were his burners. Go get another burner, stupid.
And this is a big intrusion. And I really intend, once we get this settled, to see if I can't sue them for
what?
Blatant.
For what? Following the law? Getting a warrant? Please do. Please, Rudy Giuliani, sue the fucking FBI for doing their job. You and Dinesh D'Souza. How about that? Just do a class action lawsuit shitting on the Federal Bureau of Investigation while they're trying to stop serial killers and child pornographers and drug runners and working with U.S. Marshals and DEA people to stop people from selling junk guns and straw guns and like 3D printed 60 round capacity magazines and shit like that. While they're busy doing that, why don't you sue them for following the law and being sent there to do their goddamn job?
Violating my constitutional rights.
Your constitutional rights were not violated. It was not an unreasonable search and seizure. If it is, you have the right to a redress of grievances. You will get that opportunity. You have a lawyer. They went through the process. It was not unreasonable, or they wouldn't have gotten the warrant in the first place.
And I think the president should consider it. I mean, he does have an
Why? Biden doesn't have any problems with this. Why would he consider it?
attorney-client. I mean, there's a kind of fiction among left-wing ideologues and
I feel seen.
And zealots that
Oh, well, definitely me. Now he's talking about me.
Trump has no constitutional rights.
No. Which I mean, I'm sure there are left-wing zealots who think, I mean, there's people who believe that the Constitution doesn't exist. There's right-wing sovereign citizen crowds that don't think anybody has any. They have God-given rights and that's it. And no one can take them away unless they specifically, I don't know, fire upon them like Waco. I don't know what.
I mean, if this were done to anybody else, these people would be fired by now.
No, they wouldn't. This happens all the time with mob lawyers.
Rudy, let me just, for those who don't really appreciate what happened last week, we're talking to not only the former mayor of New York,
who's now a current niche podcaster,
revitalized New York, cleaned it up, took down 5 of the mafia families as
and so the Russians and the Chinese could move in.
U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, formerly United States. He was previously the Associate Attorney General.
Oh, you mean like a swamp creature, a lifelong government official? Why don't they get a real job?
General for the United States. After 9/11, honorary knighthood from Queen Elizabeth, nominated and received the title Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Mayor Giuliani.
Yes, people fall very far.
I mean, this is just...
Yeah, Elvis was once fit. And oh so sexy.
We have a minute left. As far as I'm concerned, this is a sign of desperation. Going up...
No, it's a sign that they have a case.
After you with a FARA warrant means they are desperate. Do you concur?
No. Going after you for the crime you have committed.
I do, and I'm so sad because I love that office. I dedicated my life to reforming it. I think I compiled a record in that office that I am extremely proud of.
You think you are?
I think it was one of the best ever done by a U.S. attorney. And I can't imagine how they would think I'd violate the law.
Well, I can. It's not hard for anybody.
Yeah.
Except if they are suffering from serious cases of Trump derangement syndrome.
Hey, asshat, you, by your own admission, are retaining evidence, only giving copies of evidence, whatever the fuck that means, to law enforcement, and are officially not parting with the original source while ruining criminal investigations.
And it is.
I mean, of course, being facetious, because everything he says about the Hunter Biden laptop is bullshit, but you get my point.
It's a typical Eastern University group of people who are very, very smart, but wow.
But wow. Okay, that's great. All right, that solves it. Thank you. Thanks, Can't Stop Lying. Yeah, I've got to get out of here. We're almost done. That's right. I've got like 30 seconds left. I can do that. Thank you for warning me. Bless your heart.
If I'm allowed to correct you, very, very educated, but not very smart. I know one thing for sure. I found it hard to keep up. I found it very hard to keep up with you when you were working for the president. You're a fighter. You never give up. If there's anything we can do to support you, I hope you set up a legal defense fund.
Yeah, please do that. Try to find some way to sucker people out of their money.
We're going to be there for you with our millions of listeners. He is America's mayor.
Was. He has fallen incredibly far.
Rudy Giuliani, you've got to follow him on Twitter. And
no, you don't.
Also check out his podcast, rudygiulianics.com.
No, that's his website. Rudy Giuliani's Common Sense is the website. Dude, do your job. You supposedly know this asshole.
God bless you, sir. We know that you will beat them.
No, he won't. You have no knowledge along those lines at all. I mean, I appreciate the bloviating, but no.
Sebastian Gorka, this is America First.
No, it isn't. America First. Well, yeah. Why'd your parents hate the place so much they wouldn't let you be born here? All right, I've got to go. I've got to go to rehearsal, guys. Thanks. We have a full run through tonight, and I'm very excited. The show's coming along really well. It was raining earlier today. It might rain tonight while we're doing it. So we're going to be doing a Shakespeare play that starts with a shipwreck in the middle of a thunderstorm. Very exciting. Hopefully, no one wearing a pack gets electrocuted. Anyways, so thank you guys so much. Don't forget, the live stream of it is going to be Friday night. So you'll see a little picture come up after I go. Also, rushtix.com. I'm going to be doing a show on the 14th. This is unlike my streaming show that I do for Flappers. This one's a little more extravagant, a little more of a production. But rushtix.com for that. And it very well may be my last virtual show ever. Hopefully the next one, it's all in person. Although I will be, all right, I'll talk about that later. It's a tease. I may be streaming all of my stand-up shows because I love you guys so much in the future, no matter where I am. But that'll be worked out. All right, cheers. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Thanks for tuning in, guys. No show tomorrow or Friday because I've got shows. The play is happening, and then it's probably going to be a best of Saturday. I will see you guys next week. I may jump on just for personal vlogging stuff, but not a regular show. Sorry about that, but it's a lot. Anyways, take care of yourself, take care of everybody else, and I'll see you later. Bye.